Hello and welcome. We've put this guide together with the experts over at Pro Tax Accountant, and we're diving straight into a really important topic for anyone running a limited company in the UK's construction sector. So let me ask you a quick question. Could your business really afford to lose almost a third of its income before you even see a penny of it? Well, that's a very real risk if you are not set up correctly under the Construction Industry Scheme, or CIS for short. But don't worry, we're going to walk you through exactly how to get registered and, most importantly, protect your cash flow. Let's get right into it.
30%. Just look at that number. That is the chunk of your hard-earned money that could be deducted from every single payment you receive if your limited company isn't registered for CIS. I mean, think about that for a second. That's nearly a third of your revenue, just gone before it even has a chance to hit your company's bank account. This is precisely why getting your CIS registration sorted from day one isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely crucial.
And this slide really lays it all out, clear as day. On the left, you've got the unregistered company taking a massive 30% hit. But on the right, a registered company, that drops to 20%. Now, that 10% difference might not sound like a world of change, but trust me, for a new or growing business, it's a huge boost to your cash flow. It can be the difference between just about surviving and actually thriving. And that's why your very first step, before you even think about starting that next job, is to get registered.
Okay, so to make this as simple as possible, we've broken it down into 6 key parts. First, we'll dig a little deeper into why CIS matters so much. Then we'll give you a complete checklist of everything you need before you register. After that, we'll walk you through the actual registration process step by step. And then we'll talk about the ultimate goal, getting paid in full with 0 deductions. We'll also cover your ongoing duties and finally your next steps. Think of this as your complete roadmap to mastering CIS.
Right then, let's kick things off with Section 1. Why CIS matters. At its core, you've got to understand that CIS is a system that HMRC created. Its main purpose is to tackle tax evasion in the construction world by making sure that tax gets collected right from the source.
So what is the Construction Industry Scheme exactly? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If you're a subcontractor, the contractor who pays you is legally required to deduct a percentage from your payment and send it directly to HMRC. It's kind of like a down payment on your company's future tax and national insurance bill. And this scheme covers pretty much everything you can think of in construction, from digging the foundations right up to that final coat of paint.
Okay, so now you get why CIS is so important. Let's move on to getting you prepared. Honestly, before you even think about starting the application, you need to get all your ducks in a row. A little bit of prep work now is going to save you a world of headaches later on.
Think of this as your must-have checklist. You're going to need your company's unique taxpayer reference. That's the UTR you get when you register for corporation tax. You'll also need your company registration number from Companies House, plus the UTR and national insurance numbers for all your company directors. If you're VAT registered, have that number handy, along with your company bank details. And of course, last but not least, your government gateway login details are essential.
And that brings us to a brilliant pro tip from the team at Pro Tax Accountant. Seriously, don't wait until you're in the middle of the CIS application to set up your government gateway account. Do it beforehand. This account is basically your digital key to all of HMRC's online services, and having it ready to go will make the whole process so much smoother. All right, you're prepared, you've got your checklist all ticked off. Now for the main event, the registration itself. Let's look at the next step, which is the real how-to part of this guide. And I promise, we'll make this feel as straightforward as possible.
The best news is that this is all done online, and it's actually pretty simple. You'll start by logging in with that government gateway ID we talked about. From there, you just need to find the CIS section and fill out the online form, which is called a CIS 305. This is where you'll need all that information from your checklist. Once it's all filled in, you hit submit and make sure you save a copy of the confirmation page. That's your proof that you've applied.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The experts really stress that going the online route is the way to go. I mean, yes, there is a paper form you can print out and post, but it is so much slower. In a business where cash flow is absolutely king, faster is always better, right? Now, getting your deduction rate down from 30% to 20% is a fantastic start. But stay with me, the next point might surprise you. What if I told you that you could get rid of those deductions completely? That's right, 0%. It is actually possible for contractors to pay your limited company in full with no CIS deductions taken at all. This is what's known as gross payment status, and let me tell you, achieving it is an absolute game changer for your company's cash flow.
So, what is this gross payment status?
Well, think of it as a badge of honor from HMRC. It's basically them saying, "We trust you. We know you'll handle your own taxes." When you have gross payment status, you get paid 100% of what you're owed, right away, and you just sort out the tax yourself later through your corporation tax return. For any company in the construction industry, this is the gold standard. It's what you should be aiming for.
But as you probably guessed, HMRC doesn't just hand this status out to everyone. To get it, your company has to pass 3 very specific tests. They're known as the business test, the turnover test, and the compliance test.
The first one, the business test, is easily the most straightforward. All it means is your company must be actively doing construction work here in the UK, and your business finances need to be run through a UK bank account. Simple enough, right? Most companies will pass this one without even thinking about it.
Next up is the turnover test, and you've got 2 ways to pass this one. The first option depends on how many directors you have. Your annual net construction turnover has to be at least £30,000 for each director. So if your company has 2 directors, you'll need a turnover of at least £60,000. The second option is a bit simpler. If your company's total annual net construction turnover is £100,000 or more, you pass. And just so we're clear, net construction turnover is simply your income after you've subtracted the cost of materials and any VAT.
And finally, we have the compliance test. Now, listen up, because this is the one where most companies trip up. HMRC will look at your tax record for the last 12 months with a magnifying glass. You must have filed everything on time: CIS returns, PAYE, VAT, corporation tax, the lot. And you must have paid everything on time. Basically, you have to prove that you're a reliable, low-risk business that plays by the rules. A perfect tax record here is absolutely non-negotiable.
So, you did it. You're successfully registered. That's fantastic news. But it's not the end of the story. Registration is really just the beginning of your CIS journey. Now you have some ongoing responsibilities you need to be on top of, especially if you also act as a contractor and hire subcontractors yourself.
So what does this monthly routine look like? Well, first, before you pay any subcontractor, you have to verify them with HMRC Online to find out their correct deduction rate. Then you apply either the 20% or 30% rate to their payments. Every single month, by the 19th, you must file a CIS return detailing all the payments you've made, and finally, you have to give each subcontractor a statement showing what you've paid them and what you've deducted. It's a cycle you'll need to get down to a fine art.
And this table perfectly illustrates what happens if you miss that monthly filing deadline. The penalties for late returns are automatic and they rack up fast. Being just 1 day late costs you £100. At 2 months late, it doubles to £200, and it just keeps going up from there. Trust me, HMRC takes these deadlines very, very seriously.
Okay, here's another incredibly important pro tip, this time for when your limited company is the one being paid as a subcontractor. That 20% that's been deducted from your invoices, it's not lost money. You can, and you absolutely should, claim it back every month against your own company's PAYE and national insurance bill. You do this by filing something called an Employer Payment Summary, or EPS. This is such a critical tool for improving your monthly cash flow.
Phew! We have covered a huge amount of ground today. The why, the what, and the how of CIS registration. So let's wrap all this up by looking at your next steps to really take control of this whole process.
So, here's the bottom line. CIS isn't something to be scared of, but it is something you have to be proactive about. Registering correctly, understanding your duties, and aiming for that gold standard of gross payment status, it's all within your grasp. So, are you ready to take control and protect your company's cash flow once and for all?
Now, just before we finish, a quick and important disclaimer. The information we've shared today is for general guidance only and is accurate as of November 2025. It is not a substitute for professional tailored advice, so please, before making any big financial decisions, make sure you speak with an expert. And if you are looking for that expert advice, the team at ProTax Accountant is there to help. They're the specialists who put this entire guide together. They can make sure your CIS registration is done perfectly, help you apply for gross payment status, or assist with any other tax questions you might have. Their contact details are on the screen now. Thank you so much for joining me.